What's happening? Welcome to another cannabis critique. I'm holding a gigantic jar today because we're going to review an ounce from Matter, specifically an ounce of Meltdown. But before we get into the breakdown, gotta give a huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. Big shout out to Scott the Bartender, Baker Man, and the 2A Van Man, our dank dudes. And a shout out to Carrie and Markeisha, our high achievers over on the Patreon page. Now, let's get into the breakdown of the ounce from the Matter line. I picked up an ounce of Meltdown because it was on sale, just $108 out the door for a whole ounce of weed. That is a stupendous deal here in the state of Illinois. Really a great deal all around. I remember back in like my high school days, you could get an ounce of like Mexican brickweed for $100, and that was considered a good deal. But this, a much better value. This Meltdown is a cross of Orange Valley OG and the Cube, and tested in at 22.7% THC. And let's get into the breakdown. The look on this stuff was okay. If you watched my video on flower versus popcorn versus shake, some of this footage will look familiar to you. But there was a good mix of nugs throughout this ounce. I had some good looking nugs, some smaller nugs, and some really kind of uglier nugs that had a lot of like sugar leaf going on, a little bit of like scraggliness to them. But overall, this stuff was, okay looking. Not a whole lot of trichome coverage here. Good amount of density in the bigger nugs. I gave it an 8.3 out of 10 in the looks department. It was all right. The smell on this stuff was pretty good, a pretty strong smell here. It had that hazy smell, which unfortunately, when I get that smell out of a jar, I'm usually not that excited. I don't really love the hazy terpenes, but this one had that. Hazy with a little bit of a cleaner chemi note in there, and you get a little bit of a fruitiness as well in this one. I discovered that more and more throughout this ounce. As I got deeper into it, the fruitier notes came out more to me as the haziness went more towards the back. But the smell I describe as an 8.8 out of 10. I rate as an 8.8 out of 10. The breakup here was okay. Not a whole lot to say on this stuff. It didn't break up like ultra fine or anything. Just okay. 9 out of 10. The taste here is where I'm going to put the smackdown on this stuff because I absolutely hated the taste of this stuff. It was extremely painful to smoke this strain, unfortunately. I don't know if it was this specific strain. They messed up somewhere in the curing process. That's usually what happens whenever a weed is very, very harsh. But this stuff was extremely coffee for me. Very like a sticky type of smoke. It did have that hazy notes if you could get past all the pain while you were smoking this stuff. And I can't even describe to you how painful this stuff was to smoke. Even if I broke up like a third of a bowl and mixed this with some other strain that was actually smooth, it would still make me cough. So this stuff was, I don't know, not the best in the taste department for me personally. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It just was not enjoyable. The high on this was okay. Again, nothing too remarkable. It was just like a calming, relaxed type of high. A good day-to-day high that you can indulge in throughout like any time of the day, but it's just not really anything to write home about. Just a calming, relaxed type of high. Probably helped with anxiety or something like that, but overall, not a super potent stuff. 8 out of 10 in the high. So overall, this is something that I probably wouldn't grab again. For $108 for the ounce, it's probably decent price for the experience that I had. But overall, like I said, not one that I'm going to jump to get again, this Meltdown from the Pharmacann Matter line. 8 out of 10 overall on this one. And if you enjoyed this cannabis critique, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.